Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Andrew here from Bearable Traders. I want to talk about why you should trade and how you actually should trade. What is the trading journey that you want? Thank you for watching. Let's discuss about that. All right, guys. So I am one of the biggest advocate of part-time trading. A lot of people want to trade, but they're asking me, okay, Andrew, when should I quit my job and how much time I need to work? I'm always telling them that trading, it's best if it's a part-time job, if it's your part-time career and endeavor, because the psychological pressure that you put on yourself to work full-time, make money full-time, is actually, impacting your trading negatively. But if you're part-time, like you're trading only $100 a day for profit, if you have 20 trading days, you have $2,000 trading profit in there. So $2,000 trading profit can help you with the car or with the mortgage payments while you're having your career and your business. So I am a big advocate of having you trading either during the learning process and during the trading as a part-time endeavor. Like even I myself, after 10 years of trading, I still trade part-time. I trade for a couple of hours and there's all the other things that I'm trying to do like YouTube or community or education. But trading itself is only part-time for me. And it doesn't mess up the psychologically. Now I want to talk about the trader's journey. I started trading when I had a job and I had a little bit of a saving. And then I started trading with Brian a little bit. Brian was teaching me. I remember trading BABA during the IPO back in 2013 and 14. And then I lost my job and I got unemployed. And when I was unemployed for 5 months, this is the letter of my unemployment that I still have in my room, and I still think about it. That was one of the best things that ever happened to me because that forced me to take trading more seriously. I started watching videos, reading books, and educating myself, going onto the simulator. Eventually, it turned out to be my book, How to Day Trade for a Living, and eventually establishing the Bearable Traders and community of traders. But the journey obviously started very, very, very slow. Obviously, after I got unemployed and I got my severance package, I lost the majority of the severance package and I had to get the second job. And I had that job until 2019. I wasn't still trading. I was a published author. I had Bearable Traders community, but I still had that second job because first of all, I wanted to buy a house. I wanted to get a mortgage. The mortgage banks, they really didn't like trading. They wanted someone to have a steady career. Plus, having that paycheck coming to my home and paying the bills was a really, really peace of mind for me in that time and my family. So I highly recommend people, especially at the beginning, don't count on the money that you are trying to make from trading. Make it part-time and give yourself room at least for 6 months of simulation and trading very, very live. It can be a lot more than that. There are some people that take a year or two to become really consistent. I recently had a trader email me that after 3 years, he's now believing that he's a consistently profitable trader, which is amazing. So there is really no competition with other people. It's about how much you actually spend on it and how much you develop your trading strategies. Another thing that is very important, guys, is trading full-time is not necessarily a good thing. If you are behind your computer from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 p.m. in the afternoon, you might overtrade, constantly see patterns and start trading. And, it's a very, impulsive career as well. So having a certain limited time for trading that gives you that framework and structure that you can only trade during those hours, that I think over time, and I see with the traders that we've been working together, that actually increases your chance of success. Like I myself come usually around 9:15 during New York time. In our time, Pacific time zone would be 6 a.m. in the morning, 6:15. And I trade only up to 8 a.m. in the morning, which is 11 a.m. in the New York time and market time. And that's amazing. I live, that's how actually I could trade part-time with a job because I was trading until about 8 o'clock and then 8 finish it, take a shower, have the breakfast and try to be at work by 9:30. And that's a really good advantage for the people who are living in a time zone that allows them to start early in the morning. We had even traders moving from Florida and Eastern time zone to California and Western time zone to be able to keep the job, to pay the bills, and also trade. And that's something that you can consider. Moving obviously is very difficult, but if you can do that, then that's a big advantage for your trading. It's a good time to be a trader. I mean, we had a bear market. That was the real serious bear market that I saw as a trader, because I didn't see 2008. I didn't see dot-com bubble. And 2020 bear market was very short-lived. Like 2 weeks after that, we got the recovery. So this bear market was amazing. It was a lot of lessons for me in risk management, in selecting the stocks and be patient. And now it seems that we are starting a new bull market that is probably going to, for the next 2 years, we're going to see another all-time high. As the economy has recovered, inflation is coming down, there's more and more trading opportunities. The day that I'm recording this morning, we had an amazing trading on AMD, and then on Tesla, and now in after hours, the day that we are recording this, Meta, Facebook is trading 25% after hours. So these are the great opportunities for trading. And a lot of people say between swing trading, day trading, or long-term investing, which one you should choose. You can choose essentially all of them at the same time. I'm myself mostly a day trader, but I do trades in swing trading. A lot of people in the community see either by options or by holding positions. Plus, I have some accounts that I'm just only putting my money in there on some of the indexes to grow over time, so have that exposure to the market. So depending on your account size, if you have $1 million account or $2 million account, maybe you want to put only $100,000 or $200,000 of that for active trading, and the rest can be for investing on sometimes the trade opportunities on either options trading or swing trading. And if you have a smaller account, only 20, 30,000, 40,000, maybe you can just allocate all of that to day trading after proper education. So the trader's journey is different for a lot of people. And for every single person is actually different, depending on the conditions that you are. I'm a very young person. Sometimes I can take very excessive risks. But if someone who is near retirement, they should be a little bit more risk averse, because the recovery is significantly more difficult for them if they have some severe losses. Therefore, it's very important to recognize where you are in your trading and try to set your journey based on your needs and the stage of life that you are. One way of getting good information is to be part of the community, like comment in this video, and let's discuss together how experiences other people have been and how you can actually benefit from other people. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know, how do you like this style of videos? I really like to hear your feedbacks, because we want to separate the educational content and recaps from these style of videos, and the feedback is really important. If you have watched this video and enjoyed so far, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. It motivates me to create more contents for you. Thank you and happy trading.